gas trap.
Let's go here.
Someone out there. It's go time.
Jump drive in position.
Jump pad out. Breathe it in. Mira, hold on. They're far. Firing on subjects. Reloading. Reloading.
Reloading.
We're already inside the ring. Damn. I could have used a good run.
Care package on the way.
Oh, that's got a kick. Throw an arc star. Reloading.
They're shooting at me. Shooting.
Reloading. Reloading. That's enough for the count. New kill leader, right here. Okay, what's next? Arc star.
Enemy killed.
That kill was someone else over there.
Enemy there. Opening shot. Come see the merchandise.
Getting shot at. Firing at us. Reloading. Shields are recharging.
Recharging shields.
Reloading. Down to subject. Fire. Getting shot at. Took down another.
You are the Apex Champions.
Don't drive out. Shop's open for business. Throwing an arc star. Frag out.
Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back. I figured it out as far as I am aware, correct me if I am wrong, but there'll be a move. This is pointless, like you're stupid. Up on top of the metal structures, get to the very middle area, and this is where we get on to the next one. Second truth. No weapons. Make sure you're not holding any weapons. The rest of your inventory doesn't matter. You could have inventory, gold backpack, gold shield, everything, just as long as you aren't holding any weapons. The third truth, you need to crouch. And then the fourth truth, look directly down. And then the action that you need to perform, simply switch guns. Now let's break down exactly how this Easter egg works, because it's essentially an on-off switch for the dummies. If you activate it once, it will turn them into dummies that run around and shoot you. If you activate it again, even in the same game, it will turn them back into normal red dummies that don't shoot you. So there are 4 truths that need to be in place in order for you to essentially press that button. Now, one is location, and this is in the far left cave. When you spawn in and you're looking down the hill at all the targets, go to the far left cave.
Activating jump drive.
Get your way up to the top of the metal structures, get to the very middle area, and you how this Easter egg works. It will gain 4 truths that need to be in place in order for you to essentially press that button. Now, one is location, and this is in the far left cave. When you spawn in and you're looking down the hill at all the targets, go to the far left cave, and you want to get your way up on top of the metal structures, get to the very middle area, and this is where we get on to the next one. Second truth. No weapons. Make sure you're not holding any weapons. The rest of your inventory doesn't matter. You could have inventory, gold backpack, gold shield, everything, just as long as you aren't holding any weapons. Look directly down. And then the action that you need to perform, simply switch a legend, and you're gonna hear this doo-doo type noise.
That was awesome!
And then that's it. It literally is that. You just need to have no weapons, look down, crouch in that position, and switch legend. It will activate that button that turns these dummies that run around and shoot you. But how do these dummies exactly work? How are they going to help you? So first of all, when you're not in like their vicinity within close range, they will just wander around their section of the map. Sometimes if they get close enough to each other and they get caught in each other's crossfire trying to shoot you, they can actually start shooting each other, which is pretty funny. Now, they have a few particular weapons they spawn.
Stand back, knuckle clusters firing.
With random weapons. That might actually
Here comes the old knuckle cluster.
But at the moment, they only spawn randomly with either a Hemlock, a Peacekeeper, or the Elster. Now, I've been mucking around with them for a while to see like exactly how the mechanics of them work. Like, do they run a lot? Are they very are they basic bot level? Are they extreme difficulty? And to be honest, they're kind of bot level, if I'm being honest. As you kind of expect. So when you actually start shooting them, they might do a little but most of the time they'll just stand there and take the bullet, and sometimes they'll do these weird little emo.
Launching me knuckle cluster.
When you get close to them, they will kick, punch,
deploying me knuckle cluster.
A soldier from now, if you basically don't shoot them and you just run around them, I've been doing this to practice my timing to dodge particular weapons, like dodging in between the bursts of the Hemlock, things like that, and this is pretty good. Like, they just stand there and shoot you continuously. A lot of times they'll just get lost, and if you stand behind something, they won't try and walk around to get to you. They'll just keep trying to shoot. Now, we're going to end this video, guys. I know it's quite a short one for me.
Serving them a knuckle sandwich.
One thing that I think this Easter egg isn't the end. I'm not sure if I'm just reading too much into this, but essentially when you destroy dummies, most of the time, a big object flies off of them and falls onto the floor, and it will look like a Pathfinder head or a Crypto's drone or something. It's got a very similar like shape to that. And I'm wondering if it's like something from Titanfall. Please, guys, let me know if you recognize it, because it doesn't look like it comes from the dummies. Where is this random object that flies out of the dummies? It doesn't seem to belong to them. So why is that coming from them? I'm wondering if this is possibly like you unlock the dummies as an Easter egg, like just in general, but then there's also like a little Easter egg hint when you shoot them. I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, let me know. Other than that, I'm going to end the video here, except for one more thing. I have now got Discord, I have started streaming on Mixer, so go check out all the links in the description. People can volunteer to help with my videos, like the shopkeeper ones. Even if I just need a little bit of help, I'll give people shout outs and stuff. But yeah, go click on my Discord and my Mixer. Follow me. I'm trying to hit 2,000 follower goals so we can get partnered on Mixer. But other than that, like, comment, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you.
Here comes the old knuckle cluster. Recharging my shield.
I want to preface by saying, in an effort to make this minutes long, since is so large, I'm going to spread the topics over multiple videos. I'll focus here on showing you
Serving him a knuckle sandwich.
how it became a name God. Allow our pullbacks. Instead, I'm going to show you what techniques make good aimers while giving you skills in this area. What's up, my dudes? It's Super episode 3 of the episode.
Launching me knuckle cluster.
It's not as simple as just clicking hands on your screen, because if it were, everyone would have got leg aim by default, which is obviously not the case. And with that said, you need to understand that there's not a single tip that anyone can give you that'll suddenly potential overnight. It's really a process that takes time to develop. And as a side note,
Serving him a knuckle sandwich.
more or less every good aimer knows, and it's right here. This height is your character's default position.
Here comes the old knuckle
This is
cluster.
the equivalent to the performance of the cluster. Generally, this is the level your crosshair will naturally rest at whenever you're not specifically looking at something on the ground or in the air. The body's low, and it's very effective. If I change depending on how far or how close your enemies are to you, rather than a raise.
Here comes the mother load.
This is a good crosshair placement. You essentially want your crosshair to be already where it needs to be, so there's as little delay as possible before you can start firing your weapon. This concept is especially important when rounding corners and holding angles. Holding your crosshair where enemies are likely to be,
Launching me knuckle cluster. Knuckle cluster out.
There's a tendency what then happens when you do go to aim is some of us might flick wildly, get tense, start panic spraying, waste our ammo, miss our shots, then have to reload. Just consciously practice it whenever you expect a fight to occur.
Flying me knuckle cluster.
Place where enemies are going to be. But what happens when you this is where our ability to acquire our target comes into play. Sure, you can practice your flicks and quick timing, but I want to mention another approach that helps as well. Firstly, a good rule for aiming at anything, whether in game or in
Hostile out.
the motions of your target,
Hostile away.
is actually actually use it and use it as more of a somewhere in the game world. Slowly shift your crosshair toward that direction, such that your weapon is focused on. I say shift your crosshair, but what I'm really trying to get at is shifting your screen as a whole. Basically, whatever you're looking at should more or less
Recharging me
be on
shield.
the same area on your viewport. In other words, it means try to look around the world with your hands not shutting your eyes, just darting around while your hands stay still. This technique is called screen sensing. It translates
Launching me knuckle cluster.
something that'll help your hand-eye coordination and your target acquisition. Eventually, you're going to make something that's not within your brain will subconsciously where your eyes are focused. The goal here is to train where the point of your screen is in relation to the different objects that you're looking at, whether it be enemies or anything else. This is to help us improve the accuracy of our reaction. By practicing screen sensing,
Arc star away. Arc star out.
focus
Frag out. I love this.
aiming with your screen before you use ADS. Most players have unknown ADS dominant, then realize that it is to know every word. This is and it's what we want to happen subconsciously every time we aim at something. And speaking of ADSing, for those of us that aren't sure when we should ADS, basically the only time we shouldn't ADS is if it affects your ability to acquire your target, like situations where you're in super close range and making large rapid movements, or if you there's a pretty common issue that can develop when we automatically ADS before firing our weapons, because that's how most of us are taught to aim. ADS before you pull your trigger. It becomes a hard habit to break, and we end up doing it even if
Healing up. You'll be right.
ADS in most cases sacrifices your movement speed and visibility in return for target bullet spread. This is why a lot of players who reflexively ADS in super close range then find themselves unable to let go of the ADS button and get destroyed because they can no longer acquire or track their target properly.
Knuckle cluster out.
Get stuck on the ADS button as well, which I'll explain as part of the topic later in the video. But for now, what helped me is acquire everything within range. ADS is a situation where your target is moving, how good your aim is, what gun, any targets disclose to you, or within the ADS. You need to get a feel for this range to subconsciously know where it begins, and to do that, make a mindful effort yourself to not press the ADS button and just hit fire. After a while of doing this, you should realize you automatically use the mode that's the most effective for your given scenario based on your visibility, movement, and accuracy, rather than mindlessly clamping down on the ADS button and spraying. Practice being mindful, and soon you'll be able to choose when to ADS rather than being stuck in habit. To recap everything so far, good crosshair placement trains you to look and place your shots where your enemies are likely to be. Good screen centering ADS gives you better control of your weapon. Accurately acquire your target, pretty much lead over in the next area I'm going to discuss. Continue. Subscriber mark, which is just you guys are great. You can hit like or leave a comment videos and also to feed the YouTube machine. If not,
Using a Phoenix kit.
just look at the info. Unless we're using guns that kill in a single
Recharging me
hit,
shield.
unless others standing still, we're most likely going to have to track our enemies while simultaneously shooting at them. Tracking fire is probably going to be the most common. The majority of the weapons are automatic. Screen centering helps you train your hands to follow your eyes are focused on, thus aiding your ability to track your opponent's motions while firing your weapon. But bring up tracking to home that really affects players' ability. Shots missed unnecessarily.
Dropping the mother load. Pop your brollies.
Well,
Stand back. Knuckle cluster's firing.
by the way, I'll link the last episode. Your ability to come to aim can also be thought of as your effective aim, since more often than not, you'll have to aim what are the usual stationary targets. Aim assist on controllers can help mitigate a portion.
I'm using a Phoenix kit, fellas.
Counter aiming, but it's not enough to protect you from someone who can subconsciously counter aim during any movement they're performing. Using the dummy as an example, if I stand still and start firing, the shots hit consistently. It may sound pretty obvious, but strafing isn't something you want to do mindlessly. Rather, it should happen reactively to what's happening. What I'm really saying here is yes.
Knuckle cluster out.
Shooting, but you also unnecessary factor into the equation. Using the moving target as an example, if it's going the same direction I'm strafing, I no longer need to aim to keep tracking, because in Apex, different speeds are more or less the same, except when you ADS with certain weapons. This is an example of what's called narrow strafing, which is when you're mimicking your target's strafing pattern, and the only thing you're doing at this point is pays off. You're going to find yourself in many situations where either you or your opponent are moving entirely in one direction, moving back and forth, or barely moving at all. This is not something we can
Juice in
think
me
about doing
shields.
live, so we need to practice it so it becomes intuitive and subconscious. Before sessions, spend at least 10 minutes
Deploying me knuckle cluster.
Short straight, surface straight, and mix them up. Throw a hollow square on the ground.
Recharging me shields.
Move around, keeping your crosshair on the base. Do the same thing with the moving targets in the back.
Here comes the mother load.
What this will ultimately accomplish which is necessary to complete while moving. And of course, you'll also be actively doing this in your regular gameplay as well. Especially this is going to go hand in hand with an aspect of gameplay that players underestimate the importance of when it comes to having good gameplay.
Stand back, knuckle clusters fire.
Each weapon's weapon looks like, you should have the ability to more or less one clip an opponent that's
Recharging me shield.
zero attachments on your guns. In Apex with loot RNG, you need to be proficient with your weapon in any attachment state. Learning to in that the more patterns you ingrain into your muscle memory, some people tend to think their muscle memory is
Deploying me knuckle cluster.
This is why, technically, changing your sensitivity won't ruin your muscle memory. You can and should know how to control patterns for most parts of the game if you're serious about it.
Thermite away.
It's simply a matter of
There goes the arc star.
deliberately and often so controlling it becomes
Juicing me shields.
you don't even notice. Pick the gun or guns you want to master and run them as often as you can in game for a 2-week period. Over and over again.
Launching me knuckle cluster.
In front of you, standing at one end, and once you complete the weapon, gauge how accurate your recoil control is at distance. It doesn't matter if you miss, just relax and keep shooting. Like any other skill, it'll take time. Try not to focus too much on controlling your resource the X gun, because then
There goes me arc star.
rather
Arc star away.
because it will affect your recoil control, tracking, and accuracy. If
I'm
it's
using a
unstable.
Phoenix kit,
The
fellas.
point of adjusting your sense is to find a setting that makes you unhindered. That is, your ability to be precise isn't held back. And
Serving him a knuckle sandwich. Arc star out. Thermite out. Here comes the old knuckle cluster. Knuckle cluster out. clusters firing. Recharging me shields. Deploying me knuckle cluster. Another load's dropping. Hold on to your hats. Launching me knuckle cluster. Using a Phoenix kit. Coming. Cover your stashes, eh? Knuckle cluster's firing.